Hello friends, welcome to the first Kazeros raid Aegir. This video will cover Gate 1, you'll fight a Khan again. Most of the patterns are similar from his original Legion raid. Take Dark Sword Whirlwind, Sacred Charms, Atrophin, and Stimulants. Time Stop is an option as well, since DPS isn't very tight. At the early stages of the fight, most of the patterns are not lethal and can simply be carried by support Shield and DR, like this 2 blue ball pattern. The safe spots are where the orbs are, but you can simply get support care at the back with tenacity to DPS through it. This green blue line attack safe spot is always blue on normal, but hard is random. You can distinguish this by looking where he's slashing to, and a small smoke effect on the danger part. Since he does this twice anyway, you could tenacity the first one with shields and dodge the second one. This sharp-shaped explosion closing in creates a large plus at the end based on the square. When he disappears and you see blue telegraphs everywhere, this is a counter, so it's smart to group up in a center and counter. For this simple pattern, his shadow is the safe spot. The Medusa attack has a variant where he teleports before the blast. It's not lethal, but it's annoying with follow-up ring explosions. If he slashes after a short charge, dash away, and turn, these skull projectiles fear you, so ask for cleanse if you get hit and feared, because his follow-up attack does a lot of damage. This flame breath pattern is pretty dangerous. He will charge up a very long time. You can recognize the floor effects. He will spawn a portal above his head to do a flame breath in a large cone. This sometimes kills people if aggro is poorly managed like this clip. This pattern kills most people too. He will spawn ghosts and they will drop down from the sky. Sometimes getting stacked damage will kill you, so be careful. When you pass 200 bars, cutscene will happen, and Aegir will throw a giant boulder at the team. Watch the shadow and dodge. He will appear afterwards for his power-up scythe attack. Getting hit by this will send you to his death realm. You can get back in a few, but you won't be able to use battle items in here. When you pass 175 bars, he will have a dialogue and teleport to the middle. He will charge up his scythe attack, stand party 1 left and party 2 right. His scythe attack does heavy damage. It is dispersed between players. If more than 4 people get hit, it's a guaranteed death for that player. Hence, you need to divide in 2 parties, left and right. 1 party will be inside, and 1 party will be outside. 8 ghosts will spawn at a Khan's cardinals and intercardinal based on his head position. It is important to make sure his head is not tilted during this mech. People on the inside will run around and find 4 ghosts with a stagger bar. Fake ones will explode and fear you. Normal mode, you simply stagger all 4 to proceed, but hard mode will show you 4 different symbols each ghosts. There are red eye, green heart, gray scythe, and blue horn. Try to write the positions down, like I did to notify the team. When you finish up the follow-up stagger, 4 random players will have those symbols above their head. Those players will need to link the ghosts with the corresponding shape, or doing it wrong will cause an explosion to wipe the party. When you pass 145 lines, a Khan will disappear again. Cutscene will start with Aegir roaring. You need to hide behind the pillar to avoid the lava wave. It's pretty simple. It is marked in yellow telegraph, but be careful not to stay too far and stay near enough the pillar to cover for safety. When you pass 115 bars, he will have a dialogue again and start a Shield DPS Check. A Khan in the middle will alternate inside or outside blue earthquake attacks. And after every earthquake attack, he will follow up with a targeted wide pizza attack. Make sure to not spin his head. Valtan counters are either double vertical lines, double horizontal lines, triangle, or a single vertical line. Counters are very important. It will provide you bonus Esther meter, and failing the counter usually results in people dying from the attack. It actually hurts a lot. Try to use Esther Way or Thar to help your DPS push. When you're done with this mechanic, you will have additional patterns from this point. This pattern is a number 1 raid resetter, but rarely seen. 1 random player will be chosen, and Aegir will drop a giant boulder at him. This is almost kill damage. The yellow telegraph is very slow, but the range is very large. It is very crucial to recognize this and have the player place it far away from the boss. This pattern is really rare, especially when DPS is fast, so most people don't realize it's happening. This map-wide 360 slash is pretty dangerous too. His first slash meant to push you back and deal damage. You should either get pushed on purpose or get into the safe spot and try to tenacity it. If he smashes the ground, you will also see portals where Valtan charge out from. If you see this, he will always disappear and do it again. Valtan will always pass a Khan, so position yourself accordingly. Whenever you see him just dash away and raise his hand, the portal will spawn Valtan, and this is a grab. Grab is very easy to dodge, and even if people are grabbed, it's easy to break them free too. For Valtan perfect block, it happens after a large gear-shaped red telegraph. Press G when the yellow telegraph is about to finish. Press a little bit earlier than later. For this pattern, his scythe color is where the explosion is going to be, so stand on the other side. try to keep its attack still for the large AoE patterns like the double Valtan slash. When you pass 90 bars, Akan will disappear again, and Aegir will start attacking. This is the dodge phase. Check the red telegraphs carefully and dodge. They're all dodgeable by walking as long as you're close enough. If you get hit though, you'll get a debuff where you will take additional damage. In normal mode, during the pizza dodge, there's an absolute safe spot. After this mech, periodically Aegir will attack the stage, and one of them requires a perfect block. Aegir will smash the middle of the map and perfect block will start. Press G when the fire wave is about character distance away. Press it a little bit earlier than later. When you pass 58 bars, he will disappear and appear on the right side of the map. Check the minimap if you can. A large red telegraph will creep towards the left side. Stay very far left to dodge the explosion. Cutscene will happen and you will need to DPS check Aegir's forearm while dodging a line of explosions. They do have a pattern, but fairly easy to position yourself while doing DPS. I would suggest Atrophin or Hyper Awakenings here. The faster you finish the DPS check, you have more time to do the next set of tasks. When the Arm's DPS is done, it will do a last attack. Perfect block this and move forward for a stagger check. The perfect block timing I use is right after I see the arm moving forward. There are additional fire effects when the arm moves forward. The perfect block animation is long enough for the judgment to be lenient too, so you can press it a little bit earlier than later. You will often have Thar ready if you haven't used your Esther from about 80 bars. Using it will help greatly to reduce the stagger bar. Try to dodge the red telegraphs first and stagger because they knock you down. Successful stagger check will reward you with more Esther meter. Failure will cause a wipe. When his HP passes 30 bars, his last mech will start. After the long cutscene, he will start a heavy stagger check in the middle. Aegir will also attack the map with the attack patterns you've seen at the dodge phase. And during this time, if you do have an Esther meter, Thar is really good to push the stagger. If you don't stagger Akan in time, he will keep exploding that could be perfect blocked. The perfect block timing during the last stagger phase is as soon as you see the green ring effects. This hurts a lot, so make sure you block or get shielded. When stagger is complete, you will need to push Akan to 0 bars with Aegir's hindrance. Sometimes you'll see a large map-wide blue telegraph. Try to spacebar immune this, Guardian Tune, or Splendid Sacred Charm before it to avoid earthquake stuns. Since this phase is very chaotic, I would suggest the supports to use their Hyper Awakening here if possible. Lastly, here are some Esther meter usage tips. During early progression with slower DPS, you can use the 3-bar Esther skill before the Shield DPS check. You can use Wei or Thar. Thar is usually nice because it pushes stagger bars too. Going over to the Shield DPS check, having about 2 bar here is usually fine, because every time you counter the Valtan clone, you do get bonus Esther meter. You'll be able to use 4 total bars at the Shield DPS check as long as you do your counters. From here, unless your DPS is extremely low, you should have at least 2 bars ready when you reach 87 dodging phase, because you need at least 3 bars ready for Thar during stagger check at Arm DPS phase. And when you succeed stagger, you should not use enhanced Thar for damage if you have exact 3 bars or less. You need to save it for another stagger push for his last mechanic. If you have 4 bars or above though, it's okay to use enhanced Thar for damage here. If you saved everything correctly, during the last phase, you should have at least 3 bars to use Thar. Use it as soon as possible to finish the stagger quickly. And if you happen to have additional meter to do the enhanced attack, make sure to use it after the stagger is over due to damage reduction. With that, I will end the guide video here. Gate 1 is extremely easy and chill. The only potential reset makers are heavy damage on Ghost Spawns and Flame Breath attack, not doing counters during Valtan DPS push, too much additional damage debuff stacks from Aegir's attacks, and most importantly, the random meteor spawn that could kill everybody. Good luck on your runs, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks guys, bye bye!